Hello everyone, Eric with OzoneTCG. Today we're taking a look at a new support card for the Plunder Patrol theme. This is Plunder Patrol ship Yugioh. It is a Fiend Synchro Pendulum Earth, level 8, 1500 attack, 3000 defense. We finally have the Earth ship. This is one of the greatest bottlenecks in the Plunder Patrol theme, is that there was no Earth ship, there was no Wind ship. I think eventually, given this precedent, now we may see a Wind ship in the future, but this is a fantastic start. I wasn't expecting another Synchro, and I was not expecting it to be a Pendulum of all things. However, it being a Pendulum actually does make sense because of Shipyard. Shipyard gains allows your Plunder Patrol monsters to gain 500 attack for each face-up Plunder Patrol card in your spell and trap zone. Whether or not it uses the Pendulum card as a face-up spell or trap, we have yet to see. So let's go over the monster effect first, then the Pendulum effect, and then we'll show off kind of how this card is going to be used in the theme moving forward in Photon Hypernova. You guys can see the art is beautiful. It is fantastic. I absolutely love the way all of them look. It is a docked boat, effectively. Really cool stuff here. So talk about it. So it requires one tuner and a non-tuner. It is completely generic. Does not require fiends, fiend tuner, fiend non-tuner, anything like that. You can make this with any level 4 tuner and non-tuner, level 2 and 6, 7 and 1, etc. So all of this is relevant in, I think, upcoming Plunder Patrol builds, especially with a particular variant. Let's talk about it. You can only use each effect once per turn. We're going to use kind of the English localization, what it probably will be. If your opponent special summons a monster, you can add one Plunder Patrol card from your deck to your hand. Then, if this card is equipped with a Plunder Patrol card, you can special summon one Plunder Patrol monster from your deck. Instantly a +2. For no reason, replaces the cards you used. Already a good effect. It didn't need an effect at all. This is a lot like Meow Mew in Prank Kids. That card did not need an effect at all. It didn't need to banish itself instead of your monsters, banishing themselves for cost. This card similarly did not need an effect at all. It just needed to be a vanilla Earth extra deck monster in order to be playable. The first effect is insane. Second effect, you can target a Plunder Patrol card in your graveyard, add it to your hand, and if you do, place this card in your Pendulum zone. Really good. Great, just like Black Eyes, and allows you to recover all of your cards that you need. Any cards used for the summon. I think generally speaking, you'll want to summon your non-adventure cards, non-patrol cards first, which we'll probably be using the adventure engine in here, but you'll want to summon your non-patrol cards first, and then summon your patrol cards in order to mitigate the locks that like Black Eyes has, and Whitebeard as well. However, being able to do so, say using Black Eyes with this and Golden Hair, you basically get to summon this card for free, and then punishes your opponent for playing the game, summons either Redbeard or Whitebeard from your deck, and you get to just plus off of those. Already insane. Pendulum effect. You can declare one attribute, return this card to the extra deck, and if you do, special summon one Plunder Patrol token with that attribute to each field in defense position. So immediately I thought, okay, it's probably not good to summon a token, however, in most decks. However, because you get to declare the attribute, you can use those attributes to your opponent's detriment and to your benefit. It's good that it recycles itself to the extra deck, so you only need to really play one. We'll probably end up playing two, but you get to go, say, Water, Dark, Fire turn 1. Still have a target for either the equip spell or for Blackbeard, and then you still get to return it, and then you still get to plus off of your patrol monsters, Blackbeard drawing you a card, etc., and be able to go into anything you want turn 1. You as the player get to decide when you want to use your effects, not your opponent anymore, simply because of this. Even if we don't get a Wind ship, this is still a really, really good support card. Again, the fact that it goes from the monster effect, so you synchro summon this, use the effect just for an example, or if you just want to use it turn 1, target the card in the graveyard, place it in the Pendulum zone, put a token on each field, and then return itself to the extra deck, and then do the same thing again, or summon one of your monsters like, again, Blackbeard is probably going to be the number 1 card to go into, and then instantly draw a card. Off of that, you spent no card advantage in the hand, summoning the card, you get your hand size back, you get to draw hand traps. You can also play Rivalry in this deck, not Rivalry, you can play Gozen in this deck now. If you really want to play Rivalry or Gozen, you can also play Rivalry of the Warlords in this deck. You get to summon a fiend, you summon all your monsters in defense. If they happen to try and attack with the token into your monsters, use Blackbeard's effect, summon, say Dark. You summon Moark in defense, and then they can't attack any of your defense position monsters without taking damage. They don't get to clear it. They're locked out of monsters unless they also play fiends. Unlikely that they do, except for Dark Worlds, simply because a lot of decks right now aren't playing fiends. I don't even remember if Legal Knight's a fiend at all, but even then, it's really hard to play around that specific lock. I think this card is fantastic. This is exactly what the theme needed. Just a bunch of busted effects. This makes the Ghost 2 reprints a lot more interesting. This card would have been designed approximately a year or so ago, so probably right around when Ghost 2 was being developed as a product and soon to be printed. I really like this card. Let's go ahead and talk about and show kind of how this card's going to be used moving forward. Starting off with this combo. So this is kind of a very basic, rough draft combo. Usually you won't be playing 3-card combos in this deck. We're going to start off, of course, by the standard adventure stuff. I'm going to just go ahead and rush through it just to not take too much time with it. We'll throw this into the graveyard. We'll place Fateful. Then we're going to normal summon, so we'll pretend like we add, off of Fateful Adventure, go from here. This is going to go to the Spell and Trap. It's going to be with our token. We're going to summon the token in just a second. And then Wandering Griffin Rider in defense. So we'll pretend like, actually move this over here. Pretend like we have the token equipped with these two. So let's just say that this is our board. This is off of the 2 cards. And then let's say we have an extender, so the 3rd. So in this case, we'll activate Bluebeard, summon it, go from there. So first we'll go Synchro Summon. The fact that this pendulum will go right here, kind of interesting. You can throw it. I don't know. We'll throw it. Normally we won't put it in this zone unless it's fine if you don't put it there. If you put like a Spell and Trap right there, only because I don't think it's going to really matter unless we get a wind ship that's like a scale 5, which maybe we will. Excuse me, scale 9 most likely. There's a chance that we could. I don't see why we couldn't in the future. Maybe in this set, maybe in a later set. But we're going to go ahead and use the effect right now. Target a Plunder Patrol card in your graveyard. You can pretend like you use Bluebeard, not really. Doesn't really matter too much. So before using this effect, we're going to use Whitebeard's effect. Summon from the deck. We're going to summon Golden Hair because she's another tuner. We always want to have a tuner in play with this new card. So we're going to declare. In this case, I think we would go for Bluebeard. It doesn't really matter too much. Then this is going to go to the Pendulum Zone. And then we're going to declare Water here. So Water. We'll do 2 counters. Move. And then this 2 as well. I know you can change the image. Don't hate me too much. You can always change it. It's going to matter later on. Immediately we have any kind of monster we want, really. Honestly, we'll say we change this to Dark. Simply because Moark currently they don't have an effect monster. If they happen to use this, we can always trap them with it. But let's just say, we'll say Water still. So go from here, summon, using these 2 off of here. And then Blackbeard effect, target itself. And then we're going to go ahead and move it. We'll first summon, then move. So go here. No, I will say we'll pretend like we said light. Doesn't really matter. It's going to depend on your game state, what you have in your hand, what your opponent has in their hand. That's kind of the case how it always goes. So here again, see Plunder here. Now this was special summoned probably from the extra, so you can actually just summon this straight up. Provides you Nibiru proof. And then we also get the draw. So it's going to be random. I actually don't even know if you need this card anymore. Maybe you still play 1 of at the most, but you don't need it at 3 because now you have a way to change attributes or put attributes in the field. The fact that it, again, gives the opponent's monster, the opponent a monster is fine. Again, if you play something like Rivalry, you can lock them out of their monster zones now. And like here, they can't attack into the tokens at all. This token can't be destroyed in battle. It's great. We're going to go ahead and go right here, declare. And again, just off of like 2 or 3 cards, say that we won't have these adventure cards, you can go, so takes 2 cards, +1 in total, and then immediately draw on their turn. That's a really, really strong combo, especially when you just want more cards. No, we actually went +2 simply because we added this card back to the hand. Didn't really use the materials. If we drew more because of this card's effect, or use Golden Hair later, that's another possibility too. Or having another extender, such as, I don't know, use again, Golden Hair's effect in the graveyard, something like that. Use both effects in the same turn. This is really strong. So we're going to do the exact same combo, except without the Adventure stuff. Adventure stuff is very good in this deck, and I think it's the way to go now. I just don't think it's necessary, necessarily. And so this is going to be an alternate version of that first combo. Just going from here. So normal summon, Golden Hair, special summon. Where's the Declare? Go from here, summon. Go here. If you want to use Bluebeard's effect, you can. It's not necessary. But here we're going to go ahead and straight up use the effect, add back this guy, and then place it into the Pendulum Zone. I'll probably end up using the left Pendulum Zone. And then immediately go here, we'll declare dark, let's just say, for example. So put 2 counters on here. There we go. Move that to the opponent's field, and then summon our own. 1, 2. Now the cool thing is, then this goes the extra deck face up. So the cool thing is now we have a discard for Golden Hair immediately. This is without any real extenders beyond, again, Bluebeard. So Golden Hair effect, declare, discard, summon, and then immediately go into Blackbeard. So this is a really good combo from here. Target itself, special summon. Again, say we called dark or called whatever. That's not that. Let's just say we call light in this case. I know it's kind of back and forth between what we do, but honestly, this is probably the better way to do it, is just to immediately have a light target on their field and then special summon this, because this was summoned properly. The Fusion Lice was not Fusion summoned properly, so we cannot special summon it off of itself. However, we can summon this because, again, it was Link summoned. And then immediately on their turn, either use that or use, if they have DD Crow, they try and crow your card, you chain, Call by the Grave, anything like that, or Bestial cards later on. Yeah, a really strong combo. Immediately have this. You may draw into a negate on even draw a card. If you draw a Plunder Patrol card, cool. You get to go ahead and negate the monster effect activation. And if it's equipped later on, say you use, I don't know, on their turn, Blackbeard, they summon a Bestial monster. They try and DD Crow you, Bestial, whatever. Summon Moerk. Immediately banish their cards. So say it's Druid Worm, because Druid Worm triggers if sent to the graveyard by just sent to the graveyard from the field. Say discard, and then banish it if they don't have Ash or I don't even know what else could, Chalice, I guess, during their turn. Then you immediately add your spell and trap. So again, Shipyard, Emblem, anything like that. The trap as well. That's fine too. Really good way at ramping up, and this is all enabled by Yord. So I'm glad that this card exists. This is really, really strong. And normally I don't showcase these new cards because we're not going to get this until February. Who knows if we'll have a new ban list by then. The current ban list just came out last week and is in effect as of yesterday, time of recording. I'm curious to see just kind of how this develops. I really like this theme. It's going to be really annoying to play against, though, especially the mirrors. The mirrors have a bunch of layers of interaction, just like current tier limit. We'll have the Kashura, the new support in Photon Hypernova, so we'll probably see a lot of that going around. I don't know if this deck will compete necessarily, but it is a really cool deck to kind of work out theory about. Let me know what you guys think about this card. I'm sure everyone thinks that it's really good for the theme. If you guys have tried the theme at all, let me know what you guys think, if it's going to make an impact though in the meta in the future, especially with Photon Hypernova coming out in beginning in middle February. And thank you as always for watching.